When I first started teaching, the schools were segregated, but the federal government wanted the schools to be integrated. They gave every child a list of all the schools or high schools in the city. And they said, you can go to any school you want to go to. And that was their way of saying the schools are open to you as Black students. However, most of the Black parents had to be at work at 7 o'clock in the morning, so they could not get their child to a white school, which would be on the other side of town, because in those days, all Blacks lived in one area of the town and all whites lived in another area of town. So that did not work that year. So the next year, the second thing they tried to do was they said, we'll integrate the teachers. So we were wondering how that's gonna work. They hand-picked teachers, and I was hand-picked to go into an all-white school to teach music. At the time, I was teaching grade 2, but I had a minor in music, and I played piano. So they chose me, and they asked me if I would go into this white school. I was young. I was up for a challenge. I knew who I was, so I decided, yeah, I'll do that, not knowing what I was getting myself into. So they sent me to this school. I was there 2 days a week and 3 days at the Black school. So I went to this school. I was teaching doctors, children, and lawyers, prominent people in the city, in this little town, in Pine Bluff, Arkansas. Some of the comments I got from the children were very interesting. One little kid, I think he was kindergarten or grade 1, wiped his hand on my skin to see if the black rubbed off. I knew what he was doing, but he's a kid, right? So that didn't bother me, because he would do it and he was looking at his finger. And then he looked up and he smiled. And then I had another child, he was in grade 5. He asked me if I had worked in the hospital that summer. He said, you look like the lady who was mopping my floor. I said, no, I didn't work at the hospital. So I didn't take anything that the children said as something that was negative. They were curious, and that's just my temperament. So that was fine. I taught there 2 days a week, and where they put me was on the stage in the auditorium. They put a baby grand piano on the stage. They put chairs on the stage for the classes to come. Every day that I was there, I would see the back door open of this auditorium, and I could only see silhouettes coming through because it was all dark back there. So I never knew who was listening, but there was always someone there every time I was there at the back. I don't know if they were parents or someone from the board office, which was kind of nerve-wracking. I did that for 1 year. I lost 15 pounds. I wasn't trying to lose weight, but the nerves, just the tension. And I said to myself, I can't do this anymore. That's when I heard that they were looking for teachers in Peoria, Illinois. In fact, one of the superintendents came down, and he was a Black man. He was a superintendent in Peoria, and he was looking for Black teachers. And I said, I'm going to Peoria.